Y'all know what it is. Tap in. Peace world, what's good? This is White King.
And this is SHAINA SHEPHERD. So happy to be here with you guys at Africatown and excited to announce my new song, There Will Never Be Another You, is out today, and the proceeds go to support the incredible work of Africatown.
Y'all heard that. Go tap in, play the song, and then follow the instructions she just said also.
So, SHAINA, what inspired you to choose Africatown as a partner for this release?
Ooh, I was inspired by the incredible work and impact that Africatown has had in the community, especially over the past 3-4 years when I started really becoming more of a Seattleite. It's no surprise to anybody, like the level of change that's happened all over the city, especially during COVID. It seems like we went in our houses and came out and saw new businesses, new neighborhoods. But there was also something that was really inspiring to me, which was the Liberty Bank building popped up and incredible Black-owned businesses popped up that I, just as a community member, started to explore and build relationships with in the community that was suddenly refilling with people that looked like me. And from that, I got involved with Converge Media and Amari. And Trey met her and was just so excited by her and so inspired by the work that they were doing and how it connects with my industry as a content builder and a musician, that I just had no other choice but to read about Africatown. Like, I didn't know nobody. I just was like, what? Are you seriously doing this huge thing? This huge change to impact not just the Seattle community, but you know, the standards of what we can do as a united people when it comes to our communities. So when Nordstrom and Subpop approached me, you know, there was this conversation of like, okay, we want to do this thing. It's fun. But what are we going to do with all the money? You know, and I was like, oh, easy. We just give it to Africatown. That was nice.
Yeah, I hear that. That's definitely an honor right there. So.
Oh.
We appreciate you, you know, for using your brilliance and your genius to, you know, contribute to this work, which, you know, it takes many hands. And when we look at our community and Africatown, we just look at, you know, one, you know, people of African descent. It's like, you know, one people or one jewel with many facets, right? And that's what it takes to make a community. So we thank you for bringing yourself here as a treasure, directing some treasure here to Africatown. You know, it is about creativity, imagining, you know, a future that works for us and then expressing that. And, you know, one way that even when we feel that we don't have control over a lot of things, you know, the arts is what gives a person that sense of being able to, like, control things, you know. So, you know, shout out to the creatives. You know, I think that's something that's important for us is continuing the legacy and making space for the legacy of Black creatives that have, you know, made this city, you know, really been the soul. You know, when we think about the jazz legacy, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Wheatl's groove, all the way up to hip hop, you know, that really is coming out of this community, you know, right. Central District, Africatown. So, you know, the city's getting less affordable, and a lot of times the artists are not able to not only have a place to live, but also have places to actually create, start their careers, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a big, you know, honor to have, you know, an artist and creative really recognize that and then, you know, share some of what the value they're creating in the world and put it together so we can have a little more.
Right. I'm just so inspired by the way that you guys orchestrate that too, because as an artist, you know, it's so hard to survive in this town. There's not a lot of money to pass around in our industries, more so opportunities to build in our craft. But, you can go to a community like the Central District, the one that you built and have fostered. Generations of families have fostered this community.
Right.
And it continues to support itself. And you can go and get something to eat. You can go and get something to wear. You can go and see some people. And there's really not that kind of thing anywhere else in the city other than in this position and where you guys have built. So it's just really important.
Man, tell the world, let the world know a little bit about, SHAINA SHEPHERD and your journey to this point.
Oh my God, my journey. Okay. SHAINA SHEPHERD. I am I don't know how to talk about myself. This is like I can sing a song, child. I'm a musician, I'm an artist. I came to this town as like a second home away from home. I was split between here and New York when I was coming up, or Tacoma and New York. And I didn't really have any kind of connection with Seattle until I was an adult. And I moved here because of the arts community itself and the impact of like the local level jazz and R&B artists that I was really into at the time. I had nowhere else to go. I was broke out here alone and Black, and it was really hard to find a sense of community or sense of belonging and purpose. And so I just started manifesting. I started saying, I want this. I want to have purpose. I want to have relationships that are impactful to who I am and what my family has taught me to be. And so I just started talking about it on the internet, to be honest. I'm just kind of, it was definitely outside of this this purview, this culture. But, as a person of color living in Seattle, it's a very lonely space when you're not a part of the legacy that has been built in the community. But what I do have loved is that it's also the Black community here is so hardworking and ambidextrous, and everybody that I've had the pleasure of bringing in my life that have inspired me to bring me to where I am have always been really supportive of my art and supportive of the fact that I like to explore lots of different mediums of music. Like I love classical music. I come from rock and roll. I'm like inspired by like Betty Davis, and I love hip hop, but I'm not a rapper. Okay, like I can write a rhyme, but I'm writing.
Give me the hot 16 right quick.
Oh my God!
Bars, dude. You want to hear something?
Run. That was to me. No. I love the rap community that's out here. The hip hop community out here is so introspective and reflective, and inspires me. But that's not me.
Right, well, you need that hook,
Right. I'll write the hooks, maybe build the beats too. But
right. And how about the musical journey? Like, what has that been? To the point of dropping this song today. Like, what has that?
How we get here?
How's that journey? What has that journey been like? I heard a lot of different influences and inspirations. And you kind of cross genre.
I would say so. I think I'm more like a saxophone player or like a trumpet player than a singer, or a writer. I'm more of an instrumental, artist. And I write stuff for my instrument, so it gets a little weird, and I think it's different. My music has gone through so many chapters so quickly. Like I came to town and I was in a garage rock band with some dudes that I met on Craigslist called Barracks, and we built a impression in our Seattle local music scene, which is mostly derived from like the clubs, Numos, the smaller tier clubs like Barboza and Tractor and stuff like that. And so we became, in my opinion, more of like a working band, like the kind of band where you're like, oh, we're going to create shows and performances and people are going to like buy our crap from that. But that didn't, for me, leave a lot of space for me to continue my my artistic journey of like, who do I want to be? What's my impression on this world? And so I kind of fell into this place during the quarantine where I got laid off and I was like, okay, I want to be an artist now. And then CHOP happened.
Right.
changed everything. All of a sudden, there's incredible visibility on our people and on myself, and I got a lot more friends that could help guide me through that time and teach me about the impression that a Black woman can make in the world that is to come. And so I found that purpose that I was looking for, and that manifestation of the idea that all I have to do is be myself in the present, exactly the way I am, and keep an open mind, and something will happen. So that's how we got here. But my background has always been administrative work and working in nonprofits and, building artist developed content and stuff like that. So on the other side of the lens, as it were. And it brings me into relationships with people who just work at companies, that work at Seattle companies, and their bosses need something to look at. So they call me, and they are like my friends, and all of a sudden we get into a place where our friends are building these huge projects like this one, a huge project that's only based on that. I'm not trying to have a big head. I'm trying to impart how this is very possible for anybody who's coming from my perspective.
You gotta wear the crown, though. Wear the crown. Like,
okay, it's in my purse because we
wear,
have work to do.
Wear the crown. It's good.
The power of relationships is crazy. You just show up.
Right.
And you don't even have to be on time. Trust me. You just have to show up and bring something that.
Was that a sub?
Oh, no.
Is that a sub?
That's anybody watching this who knows me knows. I've never been on time for anything ever, except for this. Today, because I got an email that was like, White King's a very busy man. And I was like, oh shit, oh crap, I gotta get out of the house right now. So the team, but see, you built a team, right? The team that represents what your values are and represents like what you're doing, and they know you. So you are here, and I didn't feel like you weren't here at all, And that's the goal, building relationships that can bring us to these places where we can partner with companies that, I'm not ever going to partner with a developer that breaks down, land that was owned by people of color and turns it into an Amazon Fresh. I'll never do anything for those people. They've asked me, hi, and I won't, because I know that at the end of the day, for me, the karma of that is going to take away from the lessons that will keep me in a place where I can get a Grammy one day because I wrote something real. And those are the things that you have to take into mind. But Subpop and Nordstrom are kind of Seattle-based companies built from like real people that had a vision, and they're trying their best to stay relevant and give back and not be the problem. And so I feel like it's a great opportunity to not just reward their efforts, but get on that team, and so that we can kind of.
Yeah, shout out to the team over there, Megan Jasper. Shout out to Ish,
Right.
Been present, showing and giving opportunities to folks right here.
Right. Present. That's the right word.
So, when you hear Africatown, like, what image do you get in your mind? What comes to your imagination when you hear that word Africatown?
Well, the first thing I thought of was like on Shrek, where it's like that scene where it's like, welcome to Duloc, it's a perfect town. Like that scene on Shrek was what I thought initially. I was like, what? Are we going to Wakanda? Like, I didn't know anything, I just knew I wanted to know what it was. And when I realized that Africatown was more of a place of leadership where people of color can continue to build their legacies on this soil, like, wow, okay. That's like the impact that my grandparents wanted for me to be a part of. And that's what they were doing. And that's the impact that my parents, are looking to be a part of still in their worlds. And so it just felt like this mythical project at first, especially when I first read about you guys, and like Trey Holiday was just on Converge, and I'm watching Converge religiously. And she's like, you guys got to check out Africatown. I'm like, okay, like, Go to the
Shout
website.
out to Trey Holiday, definitely the voice in the face. Shout out to Big O too.
That's right.
Converge, that's definitely
Converge fam. That's right.
Yeah.
Doing the work. But yeah, I just been so excited to see what you've done, and I see that you guys have continued to garner support from the community and continue to raise money, continue to do it the right way. And it's just like inspiring to see somebody attempt something so monumental and follow all the right steps that follow everybody's rule book. And it's just like, it feels like a mic drop what you're doing here.
We want to, be a good steward of this investment in our work. So I know what Erykah Badu said. I'm an artist, and what.
What'd she say?
I'm sensitive about my.
Oh, I'm sensitive about my art.
My
so don't tell me.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
I know that many artists don't want their stuff where they don't want it. And so being that we were chosen to be a recipient, I think we just want to do good with it. 2 Chainz say, I just want to make my mama proud. We just want to make, Shaina proud that she chose us, right? So that's what we're doing.
What I hope to accomplish from this partnership is really using the platforms that Nordstrom and Subpop have developed to bring light to what's really important to me, honestly. That's what I want. And what's important to me is communities like Africatown and organizations like Africatown thriving and inciting fires in people all over the world to do the same work so that my children and the legacy that my family has left for me can be honored by having safe havens for more creatives like myself and free thinkers of color to build their homes and their family legacies. And that's what you do here at Africatown at a fundamental place. I'm not really interested in strategic partnerships anymore. I think I'm learning from Gen Zers that that's kind of useless. What I really care about is that leadership is supported like what you're doing, like King. And the work that you're doing is supporting can continue in our community. I hope that more people who are listening to this song can feel the partnership of everything. The song is not my song. It's a Lee Fields song, an expression song that inspired me and touched me from a place of like my inner child that my father put in me and my music legacy has put in me. And it inspired the folks at Black Fret and inspired a host of top-level musicians that I'm honored to work with. And it inspired just a couple people that run corporations but also have hearts and families and that we're kind of all in the same place with that we all want to see the world look the way it deserves to look, the way that we've earned it to look. And we're inspired by Africatown. We're inspired by you to see that there's a future beyond the sad times. So I'm just very grateful to you. What are some ways that people tuning in for the first time can support Africatown? I know you're doing the work, but they need to know.
Definitely. We need, we need that. No one of us is greater than all of us. So we need all of that to come together to create the future that we envision, which is one where Black people can grow and thrive and continue the legacies that our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, have established through blood, sweat, and tears. And Africatown Community Land Trust, right now we have our Reimagine Black Seattle. Again, we got to start with, what can be, what should be, and then we design that, and then we build that, and that takes, many pieces. And so people can go onto the website, africatownlandtrust.org, and contribute, sign up to get, connected, to be a part of it. We are always looking for people to bring their brilliance, to help move things forward. You could be like Shaina when you grow up and, make a song and make a partnership and make us the beneficiary, and I'm sure there's more ways to do that, We really do value creatives and our artists, you know, because they really give life, you know, the feeling and the dimension. You know, we could read books and we could talk about concepts, but when it's put through through the medium of light and sound, that's what really inspires and moves. So Africatown is really all about creating the world that we want to be in, you know, and that we deserve and that our children deserve, because we all deserve to be healthy. We all deserve to be our best selves. We all deserve to be able to thrive, and that's what Africatown is about, creating those spaces and places where, you know, we can, because we know that in many times, in many places, the dynamics have been adverse to our well-being, you know. So AfricatownLandTrust.org, tap in, don't tap out, you know, that's what it is.
Tap into Africatown. Go ahead and do that. You can tap in with me. I'm on the gram, SHAINA SHEPHERD Music. I'm online. You can download the song Never Be Another You on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere the music is sold, Bandcamp. And you can follow my website, www.shainashepherdmusic.com. And you can check me out at Smooch, opening for Modest Mouse on the 16th of December, and the following day at Westlake Park. Just me.
Big things is up, y'all. You heard that? Yeah, so it's good. We're happy to be here. Looking forward to 2022. More collaborations?
Right.
Huh?
More.
All right.
Why not?
Y'all heard that. It's just the first date. Okay? It's up. It's going.
Let's just raise $1 million on this record, and then I'll dedicate all my records to Africatown.
Y'all hear that? You know? And you might catch me on it, you know what I mean?
What? Let's go! We're getting
We got, you know, all I need, you know, if I ruled the world, you know.
Right. Stand on the mountaintop.
You know? Yeah,
Right.
It's good though. So I just want to say thank you, SHAINA, you know, for choosing us and for choosing yourself first, you know, and really following your passion and your dream and channel that in a way that can, you know, inspire and benefit us, you know. So a lot of people have, you know, but they don't necessarily reach that confidence to share it into the world, because it can be scary, right?
It is scary.
You know,
Thanks a lot.
So thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for supporting me in your way. Even when I was invisible, this is a community that supported me to be where I'm at. So I will give back until the day I die. Well,
Go down. There'll never be another you. That's an affirmation, just the title, right? And look in the mirror and say the song title 5 times.
Right. You're one of a kind. Yeah.
There you go.